Greetings, everyone. Welcome. I'm going to do a quick just draft only today. See, I might put this up on YouTube. That's why I'm doing a little intro opening here in case I decide to make some YouTube content out of this, trying to figure out if draft only is something people want to see, maybe especially in a time like this where you're just trying to get a beat on a returning format. Maybe you weren't around when Ravnica Allegiance was the main thing. Maybe you didn't pay too close attention or just have forgotten everything. Well, we can go through a draft at least and show you what I'm thinking about as I approach drafting. And then I'm going to call it a day, though. And maybe if I do play this offline and I can create a summary of what happened in the offline play, I'll tack that onto the end of the video. But I did want to at least start an intro so I can give myself the chance to make YouTube content out of this if I want. And thank you so much for hanging out, because if you're seeing this on YouTube, here I am. It made it. Those of you live, though, are wondering just like me, or maybe not just like me. I'm rambling. Let me get to Card Kingdom. They're my sponsor. They help make this stream happen with their support of me, and you can demonstrate your appreciation of that by checking them out via my affiliate link in the panels down below. Go to visitcardkingdom.com via that link, and they know you got there from here. Helps this stream, helps them know that the word is getting out from this stream. And hey, if you go on to buy something after using that link, they do tie that purchase to my stream as well. I don't get a commission or anything like that, but it's good for them to know, see direct translation of people coming from my affiliate link and buying cards. And of course, if you go to Card Kingdom, you're going to find all sorts of stuff you need. So anytime you need tabletop Magic games, supplies, singles, or sealed product, please keep Card Kingdom on your list of potential vendors to check out. And then if you do make a purchase from them, you're going to be really happy with what you get. We're on the paid account here, so we get a nice 5,000. Get to the draft view. My approach in this format is to lean Esper at all, if at all possible. There's nothing here screaming Esper. This is very good for Rakdos, though. So if I was really trying to force my agenda, I would take Oligarch here. This might wheel, though. Theater of Horrors is in Rakdos. I think all the 5 guilds are ultimately playable, but Rakdos is like the set's fun police, and it's decent at the job. We're going to take Theater and keep Rakdos as a possibility, just because there's nothing else going on here. I mean, this is like, I don't like this. Engineer is good, but it's 2-color. I mean, this is 2-color as well, but it's better. Anyway, Theater, we'll see if we stick there. Interesting. We do have some follow-ups that support the Theater pick in Vindictive Vampire. Daggercaster is interesting if you can get it with Bladebrand especially. Blade Juggler, though, better than Daggercaster. Is it better than Vampire, though? This, we could take Caster and try to wheel the Bladebrand, though. It's quite a if you have 6 mana, you can go Daggercaster, Bladebrand, and it kills all of your opponent's creatures. So Plague, 2-card common uncommon Plague Wind in limited. Vampire may be better than Juggler. I don't think Juggler is wheeling. And Vampire may be better. This is really tough. I'm going to take Vampire. Vampire is a hard, like when this card hits, it can just be so hard for your opponent to do anything. And Jugglers, we can get Jugglers later. Plague White, maybe even better than Fireblade Artist. This has the haste and everything, and it looks like it's on our colors and stuff. We might wheel the white, though. The white goes a little undervalued by bots. So I think this is definitely better, but it may be the correct thing to try and wheel it. I'm going to take white. We might even wheel this. I just think the single-colored white is just a better place to be. And a nice grotesque, and this is the type of deck for IGI. A lot of people try to put this in a controlling deck in the format, thinking like, this is my inevitability. So as the control player, I lock down the game, then I drop this IGI, and I just wait, and then I win. And that's an okay theory, but the trouble is, if you draw the IGI early in those games, you may lose because you can't stabilize because you have a card like IGI clogging it up. Whereas as a top end for aggro, it really does incredible work. We're going to take Demise, but I did want to mention where IGI fits into this format. Yeah, we very well could wheel the other card. Okay, take another Plague White here. What's the other? Okay, one thing I like about where we're at is that we could end up Orzhov from here. Like Theater of Horrors is pretty bomby, but we don't have anything red, any other red card yet. So if we take the Plague White here and then like the 5 mana Orzhov common flyer comes next or something, we can do a pivot. No such pivot here. We could take Transport or Acrobat or Locket if we did think we were going to possibly end up on the Orzhov plan. But even in there, I think we just take the Acrobat. It's not great, but if we end up Rakdos, we'll play it. Yeah, this is a very stinky pack for where we're at. I like Essence Capture, but I don't like taking Essence Capture with these picks so far. I mean, I like Dimir, but I do not like Dimir in in Guilds of Ravnica, or I mean in Ravnica Allegiance. Yeah, I guess I'm biased against Lockets. I really don't like the Lockets, and I try to not play them. They're not unplayable. They just underwhelm me every time, and so I try to avoid it. Rafter Demon can go right along with Spike Wheel Acrobat in the poster children of why Rakdos is a little bit like, come on, you're just coming up a little short on your supposedly payoffs, you know? But again, what are we doing? If not, we could take Sphinx's Insight and still possibly end up some kind of Esper. I think this is so bad and this is so good, we actually just take the Insight here, or the Guildgate even. So weird looking pick, but this is how little I value Undercity's Embrace and Rafter Demon, even when I'm in these colors at this point. I don't expect we're going to play Sphinx's Insight, but there's worlds in which we do, and I think satisfying those worlds gives us a better average EV than taking an underwhelming card in Rakdos. Well, now what? Putting my hedging to the test, because you could argue that these are hedgeable for the Sphinx's Insight Esper plan, but Stormstrike is fine for the Rakdos plan. It's fine. I think we're probably Rakdos, so I'm going to take the Stormstrike, but because these aren't good enough. But if this was like another Sphinx's Insight level blue or white card, I would take it. So now the Oligarch wheels along with Dead Revels. So now we're really in a choice mode. We can take Dead Revels and it's good in anything we do with the black. But Oligarch puts us towards a path of Orzhov, and it says that like maybe the bots aren't in Orzhov if the Oligarch is still there, although it's not like the bots love the Oligarch. I'm going to hedge though. I'm going to hedge. With the Sphinx's Insight, we really could end up in backdooring into Clear the Mind. There's Blade Brand. There's a Slime Bind, you see? Oh my goodness. I think we take a Slime Bind over Clear the Mind and maybe get a Clear the Mind later. Yeah, maybe we don't end up playing the blue and we end up Orzhov Splash Theater, but I'm going to take Slime Bind. Esper might be calling. Here's a Trumpeter pulling us back towards Rakdos, though. Worth a pick here. This is not a good enough Esper card to take. IGI further saying, hey, no, just stick to Rakdos, it's going to be fine. Or aggro Orzhov is another thing that can legit happen here. But IGI either way. Wrecker. Oh, this is a tough one. Now we're at Wrecker for the Rakdos plan or Slimebind hedging towards a still possible Esper. How realistic is pivot to Esper? We have Slimebind, Insight, and then Oligarch still might represent a pivot to Orzhov specifically, but these two blue cards are the Esper pivot. So Pretty underwhelming core clan, although we assume Spike Wheel is trying to be a 3-drop. And yeah, we can take core clan. I think we should just lean into Rakdos now. This is cute, and this is a somewhat of a sign. But Slimebind, not my favorite removal spell, even if you do end up in the Esper situation. So we're going to take Gore Clan and still not be completely done with the notion of pivoting to Esper colors. I'm not big on Wrecker either. That's why a long shot Slimebind was actually competing with it. But we're a lot closer to Rakdos than we are to Esper at this point. Maybe not a lot. I mean, we're closer, but maybe not a lot. I mean, the quality in red is not amazing. And now we have a Guardian Project. Not going to play that. Terramander, reasonable control card, finisher type card for Esper. Grasping Thrall is the card I was talking about being really great for deciding to make that pivot into that deck. We could take, like, Skewer is the Rakdos pick here. Thrall is the best card that has any hope. Like, we could just take Thrall on the hope that we actually don't even play our blue cards, but we play white cards. And what's the cost? The cost is a Skewer. Skewer is a pretty significant cost. If we are in Rakdos, we really want this Skewer. Although, frankly, it might even wheel with the way the bots treat the Skewers. I'm going to continue to lean Rakdos and forsake this Thrall, take the Skewer. Probably wheel the Carnival, frankly. We could take Carnival Carnage, but I think we'll wheel it. Burn Bright can help this deck go wide. Grotesque Demise, excellent removal. But we have Demise and Skewer, and we don't have a Juggler yet. I'm going to take the Juggler. We want some Jugglers in this deck. We don't have any yet. We take Vandal on the meme power, but another Juggler is exactly what we want. This is a rare, but it's not a good one for us. We're not going to take it. We're going to just take a Demise here and try to wheel this Trumpeter. And I think we're now in enough. Certainly, I'm going to cut the blue cards. Maybe there's a chance that the Orzhov could still come on strong enough at this point to get us in. Collision, 6 damage to a creature with flying. We're never really doing Colossus, but we could Collision. Still, Blade Brand seems fine. I think we should just take Blade Brand. Gates are less important for this type of aggro deck, so I'm not looking at them too closely, and I'm not looking to splash in an aggro Rakdos deck. So yeah, a lot of Death Touch in the format. I'm going to take the Blade Brand though. Noxious is all right. Let's look at our curve. But I don't love the Noxious, really. It's good in more controlling black decks, but I'm trying to be aggro here, so I'm going to go with the Blade Brand that lets us... Nice thing about a Blade Brand is let's say Oppo has one good blocker, and under normal circumstances, it's the kind of situation where I got 3 dudes, but it's not worth me just letting one of them get eaten to get some damage in. And Blade Brand in a Rakdos deck lets you say, no problem. We'll send everything in, and we get to trade 1-for-1. Well, really, card draw and 1-for-1 on the creature that they choose to block with. So I like Blade Brand supporting the aggro nature of Rakdos better than Grudian here. Second IGI, yeah, let's do that. I'm liking where we're at here, mid-pack 2, starting to come together. Although spoke too soon in terms of this pack. There's nothing for us here except a Scavenger. We might want... I guess I'll take, like... I just never play this card, and, like, we're already... We already have 4 4s. And we're not at the end of pack 2 yet, so I'm going to forsake the scavenger and continue to hedge, although it's more and more unlikely that we're going to hedge back towards black-white, but still, if we did, we'd play Sentinel's Mark, so I'll take it. And I just don't want to play that. Really don't want to play the other dude. Do we have enough creatures to run another Storm Strike? 1, 2, 3... That'd be a no, Bob. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We only have like 8 creatures now. We got to really focus on creatures. I'm glad I checked that. Oh. Boy, that means none of this is particularly important. I'm going to take another Sentinel's Mark, but I'm going to put this stuff on the board. I don't think it matters. We do have the wheeled Carnival Carnage is expected, but now, gosh, maybe I do need to take a scavenger. I can't bring myself to do it, though. I'm going to take Carnival Carnage, and we're going to try hard to fill out our creatures from here. And to that end, we can go Dodger, and it does some stuff, but this is more of a constructed card. It's just not as impactful enough and limited. I'm going to take another weak-ass Spike Wheel Acrobat, but still more impactful to limited than Dodger for the most part. I feel like we've passed 1 million gatherings, so maybe we did have the it's okay. Hodge, this just feels slow. Like, I hate 1 mana, 1 power attackers in an aggro deck unless they are pretty reliably able to get bigger, like the Trumpeter. Shade also not going to run. I think we take this out, though. We are full on Rakdos here. Sure, Raptor Demon, get in. I don't love the Raptor Demon, but I'll take it 12th or whatever. Stomping Ground. That'd be for gems here. This is our paid account. It's got everything already. I think we just want another Skewer. Try to wheel this Footlight Fiend or this Gate. Electro Dominance deals X damage to any target. You may cast a card with curve mana X. This is not a very aggro card. It's X spell. I think we might just want one of these uncommons instead. But it is X. Like, even if it's X of 4, like shocking for 4 mana and then playing a 2-drop isn't the worst. But yeah, I'm kind of liking the Hackerbat, right? We don't have anything to get it out on turn 2. But yeah, I think the nature of our deck says that this is a Hackerbat deck. We're mean and lean and mean here, right? Drillbit's okay. Here's another Skewer, but we're gonna take another Juggler and maybe even wheel the Skewer. The bots will do that, and we're in creature mode. We want to get our creature count up here. On that front, we could grab a Footlight Fiend. I think so. I like that over Grudian here, even for enabling our Spectacle. And we have a Blade Brand. Footlight Fiend, Blade Brand is a sweet combo to be aware of, because you can get something with Footlight Fiend. Well, you give the Footlight Fiend Death Touch and block something. It kills the thing it blocks and then fires off a point of Death Touch damage elsewhere. So very strong to do that. Now we're starting to see the cards that make me want to be an Orzhov in this format, because these tend to go late, but we're not there anymore. And Imp, while it has evasion, is not the 4-drop. I'd rather have another Wrecker over an Imp in this type of deck. So we'll take that. I don't think we're ever playing Consign. It's too expensive. I'll take another Goblin Gathering. If we get nothing but gatherings from here, maybe we do that thing. Wow, says maybe we're not in the right lane, that we're at pack 3, pick 7, and there's only two colors left in the pack, neither of which are ours. Transport, not going to see play. This is not going to be pumped, so I'm going to play Maka in case we need another 2. Wow. Acuity, being here 9th, brings me physical discomfort, especially being next to a Summary Judgment. These kind of go together nicely. As as it is. Not playing any of this stuff. Fireblade comes back around. Do we want another Blade brand? Nah, I was saying how we were running a little low on creatures, so, and we need 2s especially, so I'm going to take the Fireblade Artist. That's fine to get there. And a Gravelhide might make it in on curve, but probably not. I'm just going to cut it under the assumption that it will not. Well, we took a Theater of Horrors first, but you could see me trying not to just marry the Theater of Horrors. We had a lot of chances to bail, but finally the Rakdos card quality was just enough to be like, nah, you're locked. You're Rakdos. Just accept it, love it, be it. Rocket's unhappy about that. I gotta tell Reddit to stop pinging me all the time. That's a Reddit ping. All right, let's build this thing. And then I'm gonna bid farewell. Only 3 cuts to make, so yeah. 16 creatures, 10 non. We can cut our worst creature, probably this Maka, although it is a 2-drop. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maka does give us a 5th 2-drop. I actually want to keep that. I take it back. We bring these in. Hopefully these end up being like that. Maybe we cut a Storm Strike because we have some removal. We can cut a Wrecker for sure. Hopefully these are here. Nantuko wants to see 1 game. And then we cut the curve. Heck, we could probably go to 15, but we have enough 4-drops that I don't want to go to 15. The Rakdos. How about, I'll call it the Rack 2. Get it? Anybody speak Spanish? All right, I will give it a game. You can thank Nantuko. He pushed me into it. And add it to my decks. And we'll play 1 game, see how it plays, and then I'm gonna give it a wave and a goodbye, and we'll see you next time. Tron felt he was not winning much with Rakdos in the format because Rakdos runs out of gas. It's something you need to consider. That's one of the reasons I found that Vindictive... what was it? Vindictive Vampire. I took a Vindictive Vampire over a Blade Juggler because it's one of the ways you can get reach. Vindictive Vampire out often gives you lethal attacks because you win whether they block or you don't, or whether they don't. We can keep this, although we really want a 2. Gosh, maybe I shouldn't keep this. I'm going to be disciplined and mulligan this. We want a 2. Yeah, this is better. And now our question is whether we get greedy and drop a mountain and just try to find a mountain for our theater and eventually a couple lands for the vampire, or whether we... Oh yeah, Cam, let me get out of your way. Oh, I'm not that bad, but yes, I'll get a little bit out of your way. So, and we're on the play, right? We do have 2 plays no matter what, but we want to get this theater going for sure. Ugh. I'm going to ditch the Fireblade Artist as being just okay. and set up a little bit more certain curve out of Plague White into Theater into Vampire with any land. Ditch the Plague. No, Plague White is better than that Acrobat, I think. Land is certainly the greedy move. I decided to be uncharacteristically conservative there. Partly because I just feel like if we can curve out to a 2, 3, 4 of these three, that's a good way to recover here. We could also make an offer of a trade here, but I want Theater. I'm hoping Theater gets some action naturally, and we get that by keeping our Plague White alive, attacking with the Theater, or attacking with it next turn with Theater in play. The reason I like Plague White better is that it trades with more things. It attacks successfully through more things. Plague White can attack into a 3 toughness creature in a way that the Fireblade Artist cannot. The ongoing joke when this format was the main event in Magic was that Plague White was unblockable. And here you go. This is why, like, that Smelt Ward can't block a Plague White. Oh man, and we're gonna get to IGI this turn? I love it. Or they trade off, or they just sack a Smelt Ward. That doesn't seem good either. It's a little rough to drop an IGI on a turn where we're just going to take 4 back the next turn, but this starts to drain against this opponent, and we're going to get more value out of the Theater, and Vampire drains. I think we can recover our life total is what I'm saying by taking a do-nothing turn effectively to cast a 4-mana do-nothing for the moment and take 4. But it's not nothing. Like, we're up against Rakdos. This is yeah, it does. Comboing with these two just means we just are drawing 2 a turn and we have some life gain vectors. So we are putting ourselves a little bit at risk, but at 16, it's worth it to dip down into the low teens, high singles to set up such a combo like this and then get on board with this stuff. Or affect their board with this. Oh, it's not under there because we're already ready to cast that. Wow, okay, so we can IGI again. And that seems pretty good. We can leave Plague White back to block now. And just see if Rakdos can beat double IGI. I suppose if I play... I've never had the opportunity to play the Prophet meme after playing an IGI, but I suppose it qualifies, right? Shouldn't I play this when I play IGI? We will be offering a trade here. Let's try for the Artist. Although, I suppose... Smelt Ward Ingus could be annoying. Now they've got 1 IGI to start to counteract our 2. Oh man, double spell indeed. I was going to play Feral Maca, but we'll go ahead and drop... well, we can drop Vindictive and Hackerbat. That seems pretty good. Although Hackerbat plus activated Death Touch means that we can trade for that one no matter what. So I'm going to go Hackerbat, leave up Grotesque. That's going to be my play. Yeah, we could just kill Hackerbat now, I suppose. Then the other Fireblade isn't in a good spot. Yeah, I'm in. Let's demise the hack now. Up against a low-ranked opponent, because this is my paid account where we actually haven't played much recently. So, Fallen and Fallen. Put target creature from opponent's graveyard on the battlefield and your control gets +2/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. Sacrifice at the beginning of the next end step. Okay. So, you're going to have to make a trade here. But we're still in good shape if they're going to have a one-shot turn like this. And yeah, I guess they could have... I would have sent in the Fireblade and put us to the test. This gives us a chance to, like, not block even. But I think we should trade. It's fine. All right. Skewer the artist here. And then I guess we could just make him discard 2. Should we get rid of 2 of their cards? Yeah, let's get rid of 2 of their cards. Huh, well, pretty easy discards for Oppo. Yeah, Cavalcade in Limited is doable if you are actually doing the Goblin thing that we you know, the make Goblin tokens, then you can do it. So much to pump this thing. We're going to offer the Maca for it. +1 first strike. Be all right. We'd still be fine. I got to itch my face. They were just cycling the Blade Brand, right? They're digging. Makes sense. I think we have lethal next turn. If they leave up sack IGI mana, maybe not. Maybe I should have sacked IGI. I just didn't feel the need to do anything with the IGIs until we were fully lethal with this situation. How's... let's see. Maybe I didn't play this perfectly, but this is so... I mean, I can't lose to a Rakdos deck in this spot. I just can't. I mean, you all can punt all you want, but you tell me how I'm going to get punished for this. Punt as you will, but tell me the sequence that we then get actually punished for this. Like, we're going to win this game. Again, it's not on me to decide what constitutes a punt, but certainly at least my lax attitude towards solving every last bit of that puzzle was my feeling that there was no way that Oppo could win. That's they were playing Rakdos and we had 2 IGI and they were out of cards. Like, I just didn't care. So but that still may be the difference between me and Reed Duke, you know, or one of the many differences. But like, top players probably don't let up on their focus until the screen says victory. Nice try, Tron, but no. That's the little taste of this deck you're going to get. I'm going to play the rest of it either off air or tomorrow. If we do play it later on in the stream, then I will go ahead and upload all of it. This is what happened last time. I tried to just do draft in like one game, but then we ended up coming back and playing the games anyway. So I'm not going to post this video until the event is complete and I know whether I've played the games on the side, offline, or online again. And I suppose if you're watching this on YouTube, you already know the answer because you can see if there's a part 2 or not. In any case, we're done for now, and I'm going to hop to Soapbox, say thanks, YouTube, for catching this much of it. If this is where it ended and I didn't put up a part 2, let me know what you think of the draft in one game approach to limited content on YouTube. If this is scratching your itch and is a shorter thing, maybe I'll do more of them. So let me know. Thanks for hanging.